iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers and Clippers generated a playoff atmosphere last night for a sellout crowd at the Intuit Dome in Inglewood. After blowing a 22-point lead in the third quarter and a 14-point lead in the fourth, the Clippers kept their composure and held on for a 112-104 win. The Clippers are 14-3 since December 20th, the best record in the NBA during this 4-week stretch. After a 6-21 start, the Clippers are now 20-24, a game ahead of Memphis for the 10th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard, who missed the previous 3 games with a sore left knee, led the Clippers with 24 points. Luka Doncic had a game-high 32. LeBron finished with 23 points and 6 assists. This run the Clippers are on is something special. Last night's outcome made it official. There are now 2 NBA teams in LA to get excited about this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, KBLA delegation, you know what's better than laughing? Laughing while celebrating the legends who made us laugh in the first place. KBLA Talk 1580 is proud to present our annual Black History Month luncheon. And this year, we're honoring comedy greats, trailblazers who broke barriers, and funny bones at the same time.
You had to grow up early when we was growing up because your parents were sending to the store to buy. You was too young to buy. I want you to go to the store, get me a 5th of gin and a pack of cigarettes. Mama, I'm 2. They ain't gonna let me have that. Here, take this note. You be a little boy walking down the street with liquor and cigarettes. And your neighbors be going, that's a good little boy right there.
We need a little levity right about now. So we're rolling out the red carpet for comedy royalty. D.L. Hughley, Melanie Camacho, Earthquake, Lunel, Dion Cole, Martin Lawrence, and a surprise guest appearance. It's going up Thursday, February 26th in downtown LA at the Grammy Museum. An unforgettable afternoon of stories, celebration, and yes, plenty of laughs, because let's be real, these legends don't just tell jokes. They have changed the game, opened doors, and made history while making us smile.
You gotta go to child support court. You gotta get there real early in the morning. You see brothers going into court. You see them come out 3 hours later. I can't pay this. Let me talk to you, baby. Please, let me talk to the witness, Your Honor. Let me talk to the witness. Brother be working for 3 weeks, get his check is $43.
This year, for the first time ever, we have set aside a limited number of individual tickets for the luncheon. They are going to go fast, and when they're gone, they're gone. So, if you want a single ticket, or if your company or organization wants to sponsor a table, move swiftly and get to KBLA1580.com right now. All these comedy giants in one room, on one stage, at the same time? Stop it! This event is going to sell out quicker than right now, and sooner than at once. KBLA Talk 1580's annual Black History Month luncheon, Thursday, February 26th at the Grammy Museum. It's gonna be legendary, just like them.
What's up? What's up?
What's up? You got to laugh the pain away.
Yeah, I don't know. Shake, shake, shake. Hey, 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 hey. Stop what you're doing now, baby. Tell them feelings, keep quiet. We both understand it already. Nostalgia, I want it. Ready to win you over. Baby, I'm far from sober. I'm way up when you're the drug.
KBLA Talk 1580. That's Odile. I'm in my Odile era right now, Miles. Ads, Afrobeats, R&B. He's got a song with Leon Thomas. I'm just feeding myself as much art as I can take in right now. It's the antidote to the MAGA world. For me, what's your antidote? 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. That is the number to call. And he brings, he brings together this continent and the African continent, where we're headed once again in June. We're going this year. We are going to Botswana and Zambia. And I am so looking forward to it. Dr. Gerald Horne was talking about how Botswana was like a staging area when the South Africa and Nelson Mandela, when the ANC was fighting against apartheid, the rebels would retreat into Botswana and then attack into South Africa. So they've got a rich history of activism. They also have beautiful, beautiful countryside, landscape, safari. That's where Prince Harry took Meghan Markle when he was trying to romance her, and they ended up getting married. Then Zambia, the other side of one of the world's seven wonders, which is the great Mosi-oa-Tunya Falls, also known by the colonizers as Victoria Falls. A breathtaking, breathtaking spectacle. So I am truly looking forward to that. Two countries I haven't been to. And you were talking about, Miles, this YouTuber, iShowSpeed, who is so cute. I mean, he's just so joyous and funny and crazy. And you said he's been to how many countries?
I think he's on his 11th country right now in tour.
Africa, yeah.
Yeah, shout out Speed though, man. Shout out Speed. I of all the streamers out there, man, Speed definitely one of my favorite. I don't agree with everything behind Speed, but I do like Speed's
What do you not
energy,
agree with? What do you not agree with?
I don't like the people that are I'm not a fan of Twitch as a whole. I'm not a fan of YouTube as a whole. I'm not a fan of how they kind of are navigating and pushing the streamers. I don't like the business model. I don't like the technology behind him. I don't like the fact that he's got Starlink as the main people funding and giving his
for sure.
Yeah, so they're kind of to me it feels like I'm a chess player. I'm high level, so it feels like they're kind of like excavating these types of places with iShowSpeed's camera in a sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing about it too, yeah, right. Like he's the front man. The thing about it though, for most creators right now, you're in bed with problematic people because YouTube is Google, right? You've got Meta, which is Facebook and Instagram.
Yep.
You know. TikTok, that deal is going through for Larry Ellison and those incredibly conservative pro-net not Yahoo billionaires taking over that. We know the story of the Evil X empire.
You got them. You got Twitch. You got Kick. You got
who owns Twitch?
I forgot the brother's name, but you know where he's from. So
I don't. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So the point is, unless you are building your own platform, we can have that critique of anyone. iShowSpeed, I think, just turned 21 or something, and he's the first black streamer to reach 50 million. But that's an interesting observation. Like they're using his face to drop.
He just turned 21 on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's what I thought. They're using his face to sort of plant flags all over the place. He was in Zambia, which is where we're going. Doing this daredevil thing over the waterfall, which is crazy. I won't be doing that, but it's exciting. I think it's for me, Miles. One of the reasons he's striking a nerve is because it's fun and positive and exhilarating in the middle of all this BS that we're dealing with in the world right now.
I mean, yeah, of course, and the beauty of it is I think this is somebody that when we just come off of the kids wanting to be drill rappers. I have no problem with you wanting to be iShowSpeed and wanting to, he's athletic. He's polite to people all over the world. He's showing you black people that your face card is good anywhere in the world right now.
Yeah, except for Morocco, apparently.
Right. And he's also showing you where your face card is not. So, and I think that may be even more just the fact he's an American over the fact that he looks like you per se. But
well, I mean, also, when you talk about Northern Africa, there is a lot of racism.
Right.
And so he's exposing that too. I mean, the fact of the matter is those Arab populations are colonizers. The white folks aren't the only colonizers in Africa. You got Chinese, you got Arabs. The Arabs have been there much longer. They're, now majority populations in some of those regions, but they weren't when they got there. So that racism is historical as well. Algeria and Morocco is where he has encountered that. But I think that he's broken a lot of stereotypes about Africa too, because people think that they hate us, and he's being welcomed everywhere he goes and treated like, well, royalty.
People are also finding out that Africa is not in the Stone Age anymore. You know what I mean? Like, there are kids who are finding out about Africa for the first time and are upset on TikTok that they've been lied to. They thought Africa was, have been marketed Africa as, monkeys and jungles and poverty and no electricity and poverty and no running water. And, he shows everybody in real time that Africa is thriving, and the best part about it, in my opinion, these kids are never gonna unsee that. So even if they never go back over there, they're gonna know I Show Speed went over there and showed them that Africa's really moving.
For sure, and that's 50 million people. I mean, that's better than any network television show is pulling. How many viewers is it? The Super Bowl may rival that. I don't know how many people watch it, but that's a lot of people. And I think it's joyous. I think it's expansive at a time when we need that. And to your point, from my opinion, from my observation as a mama, most members of Gen Z and A are more likely to believe someone like him than CBS News or NBC or even politicians.
Yeah, because we're in the streaming age. We're in the age where you got to kind of show and prove what you do, and the fact that he's able to do it at such a high level, like he's streaming 24 hours a day in these places. You're seeing, he did a tour around the USA as well, and you see he's showing you him sleeping. You're seeing him eat. You're seeing the entire life. You're seeing everything with your own eyes. So It's crazy to think about that. There's no commercials. There's no halftime show. There's no staging. Like, it's all real time. Everything you're seeing with somebody like I Show Speed. So shout out to him, man. I'm proud to see the growth.
Well, if he's on YouTube, there's commercials. There's always commercials on YouTube.
There's gonna be commercials on YouTube, but there's no commercials on Twitch. There's no commercials in real life. If you want to watch it 24/7, whenever you wake up, there's something going on with I Show Speed's life. So you get it whenever you need it. So it's a whole different form of media. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think if you need a little exhilarating fun thing in your algorithm, you be 50 million his 50 million and one follower if you're not following already. So lots of scary, crazy things going on, and I we can talk about them. I invite you in at 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. I love the fact that after 2 years of doing Freedman Friday, I am still learning new things every single week. See, I never miss an episode because I host the show. And I am still learning new things every week that are going on in the space, progress that is being made, information being uncovered. And I think that, that was the whole purpose of this. But it's really working. As Dr. Karshik Sims Alvarado said, she learned things. This is a woman who is an historian for the Nobel Peace Prize people, for Morehouse, for major international museums and national museums, and she's learning. So we're learning together, and as she pointed out, that knowledge and that data is changing minds. Maybe not all the minds, maybe not all at once, but it is moving. It is continuing to move, and I think it's important for us to spread the word about that because there are so many naysayers. I know tons of black people, and I see them in our YouTube chat, which is at KBLA 1580, by the way, saying, oh, well, we'll never get reparations. It's a pipe dream, blah, blah, blah. Well, y'all were the same ones that were saying we'll never end slavery, we'll never have a black president, and on and on and on it goes. Impossible is nothing. That's one of my favorite quotes. It's from who? Muhammad Ali, the greatest. Impossible is nothing. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Tavish Smiley. You may have heard me talk about the new course I'm teaching, The Art of Conversation. Well, it's here, and I'm holding a live, free preview session on January 26th at 6 p.m. Pacific. Here's why this matters. For almost 40 years, I've made my living having conversations that count. Presidents, activists, artists, people who've changed the world. And I've learned something in the process. Most folk have no idea how to ask a real question, how to listen, how to create a moment. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, hosting a podcast, or just want to connect better, this changes how you show up. It's free, it's live, and I might have a surprise guest joining us. Here's what you do. Go to TavisTalks.com. That's TavisTalks.com. Scan the QR code, click the registration link, and you're in. It's January 26th, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm keeping this intimate. Don't miss it. I'll see you in class.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yep. You are welcome to call if you want to, 800-920-1580. But I'm kind of feeling like doing a little bit of a speed round. You want to join me, Miles? There's a bunch of stories here that I think we need to at least address, make sure folks know. I'm sure you probably do. But maybe you don't. You know, I'm always missing stuff. There's so much going on. It's like you can't even keep up with everything, but yet again, you don't have to keep up with everything. You just have to know what's justice and what's not justice. And, you know, sometimes on a Friday, I like to talk about some silly stuff too. So, you know, I got a few of those things on my agenda as well, at least 1 or 2. We'll see how that goes. But, yeah. We were talking about AI with Jasmine Canick this week, and I saw an interview on a pod with Bernice King, the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr., and she was talking about how she managed to beat OpenAI in a way, because what they were doing is, you know, they were allowing all this AI material of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and this is on TD Jake's podcast, by the way. And she was saying, you know, people were calling her about it. She was upset about it. And she ended up calling them and going directly to the company. And it started because Robin Williams' daughter and her were going back and forth. Robin Williams' daughter said she's tired of people sending her AI stuff of her dad. Right. And apparently, OpenAI has changed their algorithm and changed their policy.
They have. They changed it quick, too. I've noticed that. I've been using the AI. It's called Sora 2. That's their video AI model. And, yeah, you remember right when it dropped. That's when it got real trippy. You know, you started seeing Tupac interviews and Michael Jackson's and Nipsey Hussle stuff everywhere and Kobe Bryant. Like, you start seeing all the ancestors kind of be resurrected through AI in a sense. So yeah, there was a big lawsuit about that. So now they've limited to where they don't allow you to show the deceased anymore.
And the Kings have done the King family has done an incredible job of protecting his legacy. You can't just use his words without their permission. A lot of things. But this shows you that those companies can control mis and disinformation if they want to, which means they just don't want to.
Right. Don't let them lie to you, y'all. They know what they're doing. They know how they're capitalizing. They know the shock value of it. It's not an accident. It's on purpose that they get to do that type of stuff. Because if you were to do... Because I'll say I know somebody that tried to... I know somebody. Not me. I know somebody that tried to do the same thing with
Yeah, I happen
Mr.
to know
Kirk.
that person too. Yeah,
tried to do something with Mr. Kirk, and they end up getting their content pulled down, their account flagged because
they can do it. They can fix it. So Elon Musk has always made fun of the World Economic Forum in Davos in Switzerland that went on this week. But he decided to show up and make a speech this week, even though he said it was an unelected world government that the people never asked for and don't want. He decided to go there anyway. He's now at $677 billion of wealth, moving towards $1 trillion. And he claimed in his speech that soon we will have more robots than people. My question, he makes all these promises. He's always promising tech advancements that he doesn't deliver. So my immediate thought when I saw that was, was he high?
Probably, to be honest with you. He also, here's the thing. Do you believe, I don't know, there's a lot of conspiracy theories around all this stuff too, you know what I mean? Because he also got up there and said, if anybody would know there's aliens out there, it'd be me. And I actually
because
am
I
an
am
alien.
one,
You know
right,
what I
of
mean?
course,
It's like,
yeah. Well, that's again, was he high? I was tripping out about that because everyone knows he does ketamine and, he's admitted it, right? And so when you're a billionaire and you're a drug addict, it's just not the same. If he was a low-level offender, white, black, otherwise, people would just take everything he said as a lie or take it with a grain of salt. But since he's rich, apparently, I'm thinking about Jim Irsay, who just died, the Indiana Colts owner, who also had a ketamine and opioids addiction. I don't know what else he was using, if it was cocaine or whatever, but
little trail mix bag of drugs.
Yeah, but he's able to be animated and be seen as a successful businessman. If he was a regular poor white dude, he's a junkie. Don't believe a word he says.
Right. Like I said, I take everything with a grain of salt for sure. But man, there is a lot of stuff going on, Dominique. So when you get
so, are you saying you think he's an alien?
I'm not saying I think he's alien. I'm saying he said he's alien.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying.
And I said he's high.
Right. You said he's high.
I said he's high.
And he said there's going to be more robots than humans, and you could take that as there's going to be 1 million robots, or there's going to be
hardly any humans.
A lot less humans. You see how this weather's acting up right now.
Yeah.
So.
Well, of course we know that. Well, speaking of conspiracies, which may or may not be conspiracies, that the tech guys want to start their own semi-autonomous region in Greenland, and sort of a whites-only billionaires colony,
safe haven for when this planet keeps heating up,
or when they start bombing everyone else in the world. But that luckily Europe is shutting that down. President Trump, they're back on TACO, which is Trump always chickens out. That's what TACO stands for. He's threatening, and now he says he has a framework of a deal, and so over Greenland's future. So it seems like he's backing down. We'll see.
But it also seemed like they were up there championing him up there at that Davos meeting, in my opinion.
Well, they were kissing his butt because nobody wants to get on his bad side. I mean, I think some of these corporate executives are possibly regretting their vote because they're all scared if they say one thing wrong, they're going to have a big problem. He's suing J.P. Morgan for $5 billion right now, saying the bank closed his accounts for political reasons. Now, those bank accounts did not have $5 billion, but that's what he's trying to get from them.
Yeah, trying to do a little synthetic. He keeps saying this golden age. I call it the synthetic golden age he's trying to produce out here in the world because it's all a farce. It's all a front. It seems like it's trying to be manufactured, and it's not. It doesn't make sense for people who are in the know of what's really going on, but they're pushing it, and clearly, if not everybody's afraid of it, everybody believes it. One of the two, but they're going along with it either way.
Well, basically they're being held hostage, and some of them, are doing what they wanted to do anyway. But I just think it's so, a lot of it is people are, really reacting to a dictator.
Yeah.
To an authoritarian. And he can say today, I have a framework of a deal for Greenland, and then turn around and do just the opposite because he's very erratic. And it's not just him. It's his whole administration. We have to remember that. Minnesota is supposed to be having a kind of a general strike today. No work, no school, no shopping. They're protesting against ICE with a blackout day of protest. ICE out of Minnesota, day of truth and freedom. Of course, that's after ICE agents killed Renee Good, after they arrested, I think in the past month, it's 5 children. One of them was a 5-year-old. No, 4 children, not 5, from the Minnesota School District within the past couple weeks have been detained. This 5-year-old was used to get others to come out of his house. They made him knock on the door and then arrested others. And he's in detention. Yeah. Little boy. So no wonder people are angry. I know you have a lot of opinions about stuff like, general strikes. Historically, they've been very effective, but it only works when it's widespread and people really stay home.
Right. And, like you said, Dominique, everybody's kind of bowing out and feeling it. And, it seems like he may have it surrounded. So I understand people that are real close to the ground and the impact point really wanting to do something, feel like you fighting back. So I'm all for it. I'm all for strategy. If it makes sense, I don't want to say if it makes dollars, it makes sense, but if it makes sense, go through with it. But, I don't know if that's the number one strategy that we as the people, whoever the people are against the top percentage of people, I think that may not be the best strategy all along. But I'm all for it. Go for it, man.
Well, folks got to do something. I'll tell you that, because the people are the ones that are not backing down. The politicians and the corporations, for the most part, are cosplaying some kind of resistance or ethics, but they're mostly complicit. Yeah. And so the people are the answer. Yeah. And apparently, my understanding, I'm having trouble finding information on this, but apparently, after the arrest of Nakima Levy-Armstrong, the civil rights attorney, Chantel Allen, the Black Lives Matter grassroots and school board member, and William Kelly, they were arrested because of protesting in that church, as we were talking about today. Here it is. I found it. Apparently, they were supposed to be released, and then that was challenged, and so they are still in jail. The judge had ordered them released, but apparently they are still in jail, and they will remain in jail and possibly be released over the weekend. This is such a terrible escalation, and activists, including Black Lives Matter grassroots, are demanding their immediate release. So
jail and ICE detention are 2 different things, though, right?
Yeah, this is... I don't believe they're in ICE detention. I believe they are in county jail there, as far as I know.
But there's no judge presiding or court.
Yeah, the judge ordered them to be released. Okay. But apparently that release was challenged, and they are now still being held. I'm not sure exactly where. This article says jail. So I assume that is not ICE custody, because jail generally means county or city lockup. It generally does not mean federal detention. ICE is federal detention, as is, federal penitentiary, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. That ICE detention is federal detention. That's where the 5-year-old is. Little Liam and his Pokemon hat are in ICE detention, federal detention, which is said to have deplorable conditions. It's freezing cold, no bathrooms, no medical care, or terrible bathrooms. They're like it's like they're being held in a foreign country. It might as well be in Honduras. 800-920-1580, news, traffic, and sports, then more on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. A sprawling snowstorm is set to slam millions of Americans from Texas to New York this weekend. People in the path of this potentially historic storm are being warned to prep for snow, ice, and freezing rain, which could all lead to deadly road conditions and prolonged power outages. This physician in Pennsylvania says, watch how you shovel so you don't injure yourself.
If you're lucky enough to have a snowblower, well, then that's easier accomplished.
D.C.'s Black Mayor Muriel Bowser has helped to break ground on the largest project to convert office space to housing. A 15-story residential building will have 532 units, including 60 that are classified as affordable. And Hollywood's biggest Oscar moment belongs to Sinners and Black director Ryan Coogler, who has a record 16 nods. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers and Clippers generated a playoff atmosphere last night for a sellout crowd at the Intuit-Dome in Inglewood. After blowing a 22-point lead in the third quarter and a 14-point lead in the fourth, the Clippers kept their composure and held on for a 112-104 win. The Clippers are 14-3 since December 20th, the best record in the NBA during this 4-week stretch. After a 6-21 start, the Clippers are now 20-24, a game ahead of Memphis for the 10th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard, who missed the previous 3 games with a sore left knee, led the Clippers with 24 points. Luka Doncic had a game-high 32. LeBron finished with 23 points and 6 assists. This run the Clippers are on is something special. Last night's outcome made it official. There are now 2 NBA teams in LA to get excited about this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Thanks for starting your morning off with a voice that speaks truth to power and the powerless, getting to the heart of what matters most in our community. This is where authentic conversation meets real action. From breaking news and politics to culture and community solutions, this is where you hear perspectives you won't hear anywhere else. This is where we come together, get informed, and make change happen. You're inside First Things First with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
You make my day.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. Let's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580.
They call it progress, but progress has a price. Land once held in black hands, taken, stolen, erased. Acres paved into highways, fields burned. Homes replaced by parking lots and broken promises. Every deed lost was a dream deferred. We talk about millionaires, but what about the millionaires that never were? The farmers whose soil was seized, the families who watched their inheritance disappear, the wealth that never had a chance to grow because its roots were ripped from the ground. They took the land, but never the legacy, because the soil remembers, and so do we. Every story matters. Our mission is to collect, preserve, and amplify these stories. If this is part of your family's history, visit blacklandlost.org/share your story and help bring us closer to justice.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with the world. African Focus Incorporated is a community-based organization whose mission is to bring Africans and African Americans together, lead charitable initiatives on the motherland, and educate people from all walks of life on the beauty, legacy, and opportunity of Africa's 54 nations. And it's that time once again when African Focus is teaming up with KBLA Talk 1580 for our 8th annual African Focus Trailblazers Tour. Travel with us in 2026 when we're headed to the southern African nations of Zambia and Botswana for a historical, cultural, and vacation tour led by me, Dominique DiPrima, Cultural Ambassador for African Focus Incorporated. Enjoy luxurious accommodations, conscious fellow travelers, shopping, adventures, cultural cultural tours, wildlife safaris, and a giant waterfall, one of the world's 7 wonders, along with a chance to be of service at an orphanage on the continent. Become an AFI trailblazer by exploring the motherland with a nonprofit organization that has members in Africa and America to help roll out the red carpet for you, and together we'll make a difference and have fun doing it. For more information, visit africanfocus.org or call 310-676-7300. That's 310-676-7300 or africanfocus.org. Whether it's stateside or exploring the diaspora, we're with you every step of the way. African Focus and KBLA Talk 1580. Come go with us.
This is KBLA Talk 1580, where hate loses and love wins.
Yeah, I do want to talk about what's going on with these Philly Black Panther. I just want to quickly, update on a couple of stories. Miles will join me back in studio. He's multitasking up a storm. There is a memo that came out that said, from ICE, that says that it instructs their officers that they can go into your house without a judge's warrant. That is in violation of the Fourth Amendment. But apparently this memo does exist. It says that they can use sort of something called an I-205 form, which is, easier to get than a judge's order, can be signed by an immigration enforcement official. So clearly, that fight is on, the fight to protect your right to privacy in your own home. And I still say, don't open the door. Okay, I'm expecting another text from a lawyer friend any minute. Jack Smith fighting for his legacy and the legacy of the law yesterday at the House Judiciary hearing, where they were clobbering him, where they were trying to undermine the legitimacy of those investigations he had into the Justice Department had into President Trump's crimes. He's, warning of the impact on our democracy. And to your point about the press and elected officials, caving, even CNN wrote, Jack Smith, a former special prosecutor who led 2 failed prosecutions against Donald Trump, testified before the House Judiciary Committee. Well, the only reason they failed is because Trump got elected and he ended the cases against himself. I don't know if that qualifies as failed, but that to me is an example of CNN, being scary and saying, oh, yeah, we're going to say it the way Trump wants us to say it.
He was at Davos this week, and he was talking about nothing beats a good press. You have to have a good country with a good press and a good, dictator.
Let me see your hands. Do you have bruises?
Good press is everything. So, that's the play, y'all. That's the play. So don't be surprised by what they say. That's why I'm so glad that I'm running into more people that are on a high level strategy point of view on what these people are doing, and not just on the itty bitty details. That's going to eat you up. It's going to kill your mental if you just follow the details, man. Look at what's going on and make your own opinion on it, because they're not going to give you the full truth.
But once again, the senators wouldn't even know about that unless it was for a legal group, exactly. Called whistleblower aid. So it's the people that are really doing the best work, I think, right now. And a judge is still considering whether or not ICE agents are allowed to wear masks in California, even though we passed a law prohibiting ICE agents to wear masks. They took it to court, and it seems like the judge is skeptical. So that could end up being a ruling in favor of unmasking ICE, which could impact the whole country. So that would be a good thing, and California once again leading the way. There's a few other things. I can't get to everything, but those are really important headlines going on. So one of the things everyone's arguing about, not just on social media but in real life, is that there's a group calling itself the Black Panther Party for Self-Defense, saying they're the Philadelphia chapter, and they have suddenly been everywhere. Mm-hmm. Paul Birdsong is the chairman of that chapter. Amanda Seals and others have been questioning their legitimacy. Where do these folks come from? Why have we never heard of them? What is their track record? Are they fake? And to be clear, there have been a number of groups over the years that have called themselves some iteration of Black Panthers. Whether they are legit, what their agendas are, you really don't know. This one, though, has attracted a lot of attention, a lot of debate, and a lot of media coverage, and a lot of skepticism. A woman claiming to be Huey P. Newton's niece says she's taking them to court and tells them they must cease immediately. Many activists are giving them the side eye. Now, Paul Birdsong says that he's going to have a meet and greet with the public on January 31st at their office in Philadelphia, 2123 North Grat Street, in case you're in town. They're starting at noon. He says anyone who wants to know who they are and whether or not they're real and meet the folks he calls original Black Panther elders, who he claims have signed off on his organization, they can show up there. I think that's an interesting move. And then Rico Dukes, who is the son of Huey P. Newton. Now, Huey P. Newton has stepchildren that he adopted. And I understand that Rico Dukes is actually his only biological, is saying, no, I sanctioned them. I gave them permission. And he's shutting down this other lady who says that she is the niece of Huey P. Newton. So, I have a few takeaways. One of them is that it's good that we're skeptical. It's good because if it means that we learn something from COINTELPRO, because we're in an age when the Trump administration is willing to go to extremes, to lie, to cheat, to use AI, to misrepresent, it's good if we're giving everything the side eye. Yeah. I think it's a way of making people search up Black history, which is also good at a time when they're erasing Black history. But I don't like the dividing of people. Yeah. Your thoughts?
My first thought is, wow, it is big business being pro-Black. Go figure. I didn't know.
What do you mean big business?
I mean,
they're not making money.
I'm not saying you may not be making money, but you're getting what are you doing it for? You're getting attention from it. You're getting, that's what that's the main currency we're dealing with right now.
I know. I get that it's the attention economy, but supposedly, and I haven't verified this, but I have read it on several reputable news sites, that they are feeding kids every day there. Okay. So how is that big business?
I'm just saying that, okay, maybe. I stand correct. I haven't done the deep research on what they are or are not doing, but I'm following the division that is causing between us as a people being divided by it. People that are actually associated with, the liberation of Black people, the continuation of the Black struggle here in America. And I can't wait to see what the final verdict ends up being with this. But once again, y'all, like you said, be cautious, be alert, and don't just jump into every little thing because somebody puts their name or stamp. Same thing we have with Black Lives Matter. We have 3 or 4 different, people that wanted to claim Black Lives Matter different chapters.
It's not really 3 or 4 different people. The thing with Black Lives Matter is you have the original Black Lives Matter, then they've got Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, which was a foundation created by the people who started the real Black Lives Matter to manage the money, and that was subject to a hostile takeover by profiteering consultants who stole the money and the platforms. That's one thing. So Global Network Foundation, which is the fake Black Lives Matter that has all the money, and then every time any Black group gets in trouble, the media labels them Black Lives Matter, whether they call themselves that or not.
And if I have a shirt on that says Black Lives Matter, this has the statement that says Black Lives Matter, has nothing to do with the organization of Black Lives Matter.
It's the movement.
It's the movement, but I have nothing to do with the movement. It's just an ideology at a point of what I believe in. Same way being a Black Panther may just be an ideology of what you believe. You may not even actually be an official Black Panther, but you may operate as a Black Panther.
But that's a perfect example, Miles, because the Black Panther Party was a specific organization,
Right.
is a specific organization. And there are people living that were in that group. And Black Lives Matter grassroots, which is really the boots on the ground, the original iteration, is a specific organization. So you can say, I believe Black Lives Matter. But if you are a member of the press and you say Black Lives Matter activists and you make it seem like they're part of an actual organization when they're not, that is not accurate.
Exactly. And I think, and like I said, I'm not one to speculate on whether this is an actual Black Panther Party affiliated with the grand, legacy of the Black Panther
and
that we
the
think
actual
of.
organization.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that is the case or not. What I'm saying is the fact that you can just do that because we have a history of something. The fact we even have to question that. You know what I mean? Because we have a rich history, anybody can just jump on. I sound like Dr. West right there. A rich Black history. But you know what I mean? Like the fact that we have a rich history that you can just jump on and be a part of, and that's even an option. That's skeptical. That's something I think we need to be alert for and not just sign ourselves up to be a part of something just because of the name associated with it. Regardless,
I mean, what's the difference between jumping on a bandwagon and being inspired? Like, I'm deeply inspired by Ida B. Wells.
Because there's a protocol
Kathleen
to
Cleaver.
it. Because there's a protocol to becoming a Black Lives Matter grassroots activist. There is a process.
There's an onboarding process. Yeah.
Right, and more importantly, there's a community to it as well. This didn't start with you. So the fact that you're trying to start something without the continuation of what's already there, it's suspect to me.
Right. So if I wear an LA Dodgers jersey, that doesn't mean I'm a member of the LA Dodgers.
Man, if I get a blue flag and it's put in my pocket, I'm not cripping.
Right. Well,
there's a protocol to it. There's a rite of passage, per se, that has to be initiated upon you to be a part of this type of stuff. There's a history you need to learn about. You can't just do these things just because you wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm blooding today. I feel like it. I feel like a Black Panther today.
Although people do that, and there's an FAFO factor to that.
Exactly. So I pray that whatever this is, I pray that, how about this? If it is legit, if it's pure intention, I don't see there being a reason why we can't collab and come together on this if that's the case. But if homie is just cosplaying, you know what I mean, put on his Black Panther outfit and say, yo, here's what I'm going to do because I got this outfit on, then I think there's going to be some whooping for that. You know what I mean?
Well, and I'm waiting to see who these Panther elders are. I hope it is legit. Actually, I hope it is. I think it certainly throws a wrench in matters, the fact that Rico Dukes, the biological son of Huey P. Newton, is saying that he's co-signing this. It's not too late to call. We've got a few minutes before the best of Tavis Smiley takes to the microphone. 800-920-1580. Miles Lowe in the studio with me, Dominique DiPrima, for KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by Abby.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The
California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The conversation continues right now with Dominique DiPrima on First Things First.
It does, and I'm really glad you're here. I appreciate you so much. I want to put a pin in the fact that on Monday, in our second hour, we will be hearing from Janae Tyler. She is a family member of Keith Porter Jr., black man, U.S. citizen, murdered by ICE in Northridge, California. She will be on with me on Monday, and she will be giving us an update on where we are with that case and how you can help. And if you have questions or conversation, you want to join us for that. It's going to be a roller coaster of a Monday for sure, because it is also a Black Marriage Monday, and we're going to be joined by Lateris Whitfield, who is a very popular YouTuber. He's got 640,000 subscribers, and he's also the Relationship Whisperer. So, it's going to be quite a day. And, of course, we'll get the Altadena, Pasadena update with James Farr first thing. So we've got a stacked show for you on Monday. Apparently, ICE detained SF Giants baseball player Jung Hoo Lee. Customs and Border Protection took him into custody at the airport on Wednesday. This is a real big potential problem. We already see fans canceling by the tens of thousands, canceling their World Cup tickets and canceling their trips here. I wonder how that plays out with the Olympics. The Trump administration says they're going to let people in for the Olympics and the World Cup. But when you keep changing the visa rules, you keep arresting people. You're arresting a Giants player, right? A major league franchise, one of their players arrested. And then you see U.S. citizens being murdered.
Yeah.
I'm not going to have a lot of confidence that I want to come here if I'm a World Cup team or an Olympic athlete.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely getting scary, and it's not like this is somebody who just popped up on the radar. There's somebody who's been on, been a multimillionaire working for one of the most prestigious franchises in America's pastime. Favorite pastime. So
6-year, $113 million deal. That's what he had. But nope, you going into ICE custody.
Not a brokey, y'all.
Yeah, not a brokey, but he does have, Stevie Wonder said in his song, you might have the cash, but you can't cash in your face.
Right.
And right now, if your face is brown, Asian, or black,
they on your heels.
Yeah, clearly you are not wanted here.
Yeah.
And that, I don't know, I hope they don't, I know that sounds corny, but I hope they don't ruin the World Cup, and I hope they don't ruin the Olympics, but I think it's well on its way to already happening.
Yeah, and they're pushing hard to kind of get LA, you know what I mean, to be the type of super city they're trying to make it for before then. So, yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see where we at. We will see where we at. But, yeah, keep your eyes on that.
You saw the ICE agents went and ate at the El Tapatio restaurant in Wilmar, Minnesota. They ate lunch there. They were served. Everyone was kind to them. And then they waited till the place closed and went in and arrested a bunch of the workers at the restaurant.
Scandalous.
It's giving Thanksgiving.
Man, it's giving.
You know, pilgrims come, eat your food, and then later slaughter you.
Yeah, we really are watching the Crusades all over again, in my opinion. That's crazy to me.
I'm detecting a pattern here.
Yeah.
And here's the thing.
On the 250 anniversary of America, too. Go figure.
Yeah, well, there you go. But, you know, I also feel like if I'm a Mexican restaurant cook or worker, from now on, I see you coming,
and you white, it's over with.
And you got a mask or a federal get-up.
Got guns and a bulletproof vest on? Nope.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat my food if I were you.
Come on now.
I wouldn't eat it. I'm just saying. You can't eat everybody's food. If you are, as Ben Frank says, the new Gestapo, Trump's private army, you don't want to eat my food.
No. Leave it alone. That's funny. Of course not. Don't eat my food.
Yeah, Morris says that was him calling, but he says the FIFA games should be canceled. I don't see them canceling it. It's too much money on the line.
Ticket sales be low, though. I bet you. I mean, they'll probably still do it because of TV revenues and stuff like that.
Right.
But, you know, let them ticket sales be low. It's gonna be look. We really have them Elon Musk robots in them seats. Then you saw they used to have them at the Chargers game a couple years ago. So yeah. Gonna be some seat fillers.
The stadiums will be empty. Well, they can always hire extras because we're in LA.
Right.
Or you can always get extras.
Or give the ICE agents free tickets and fill up the arena with them. You know what I mean?
Keep them busy. No, but
make them monitor the players.
No, then they'll go arrest people after every game. Right. Like it's all bad. But I must admit, I'm still jazzed about Sinners getting all that love at the Oscars. Now, we'll see if they get any. To Tavis's point, we'll see if they give him any actual statues.
Look, I don't want to say at least, because I do think Ryan Coogler deserves some for his exact work. But
black director has never won. A black director has never won. That's crazy.
So I'm predicting Sinners got to get soundtrack. Sinners got to get the make. I mean, like all the little stuff is like, oh, that's definitely Sinners. Definitely Sinners.
Best picture is what I'm looking for.
Yeah. I'm with that. I'll let see best director. I'll listen anything that just man, load them up.
Ruthie Carter, the most nominated black woman in Oscars history. I said she'll be the Edith Head of her generation. Probably the most famous costume designer in Hollywood history is Edith Head. I hope she wins too. Let's get that.
Yeah.
Let's
Stack
get
them
that.
up, y'all.
Yeah. Well, it is time for us to wrap up. Miles, tell people how they can tap in with you and get your music and all that.
Yeah, so everything is at Miles Low Music on Instagram. The Real Miles Low on Instagram is my second page, and the Do Better Network on Instagram. You can go to mileslowmusic.com for the website. The Do Better Network on YouTube. The music is on every streaming platform. I'm selling it on even.com as well because I want to make sure that we have a direct-to-consumer platform as well. But just tap in and, I'll get it to you. I'll make sure you get the music.
Absolutely. You can find me at DiPrima Radio, DIPRIMA Radio everywhere. Even have a YouTube channel. Please subscribe. I don't have enough YouTube followers. I said iShowSpeed is chasing me, but I'm not even close to chasing him. The best of Tavis Smiley is on right now. Like my dad, the late, great Amiri Baraka used to say, a man is either free or he is not free. There can be no apprenticeship for freedom. Until next time, KBLA delegation, one love.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Esther Dillard with BIN News Now. A sprawling snowstorm is set to slam millions of Americans from Texas to New York this weekend. People in the path of this potentially historic storm are being warned to prep for snow, ice, and freezing rain, which could all lead to deadly road conditions and prolonged power outages. This physician in Pennsylvania says, watch how you shovel so you don't injure yourself.
If you're lucky enough to have a snowblower, well, then that's easier accomplished.
D.C.'s Black Mayor Muriel Bowser has helped to break ground on the largest project to convert office space to housing. A 15-story residential building will have 532 units, including 60 that are classified as affordable. And Hollywood's biggest Oscar moment belongs to Sinners and Black director Ryan Coogler, who has a record 16 nods. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Got issues with youth or high school sports? Positive Coaching Alliance can help. PCA, a national nonprofit, offers more than 1,000 free online resources for youth and high school sports coaches, parents, students, and administrators. Visit PCADevZone.org.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
The Lakers and Clippers generated a playoff atmosphere last night for a sellout crowd at the Intuit-Dome in Inglewood. After blowing a 22-point lead in the third quarter and a 14-point lead in the fourth, the Clippers kept their composure and held on for a 112-104 win. The Clippers are 14-3 since December 20th, the best record in the NBA during this 4-week stretch. After a 6-21 start, the Clippers are now 20-24, a game ahead of Memphis for the 10th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. Kawhi Leonard, who missed the previous 3 games with a sore left knee, led the Clippers with 24 points. Luka Doncic had a game-high 32. LeBron finished with 23 points and 6 assists. This run the Clippers are on is something special. Last night's outcome made it official. There are now 2 NBA teams in LA to get excited about this season. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley. You may have heard me talk about the new course I'm teaching, The Art of Conversation. Well, it's here, and I'm holding a live, free preview session on January 26th at 6 p.m. Pacific. Here's why this matters. For almost 40 years, I've made my living having conversations that count. Presidents, activists, artists, people who've changed the world. And I've learned something in the process. Most folk have no idea how to ask a real question, how to listen, how to create a moment. Whether you're building a business, leading a team, hosting a podcast, or just want to connect better, this changes how you show up. It's free, it's live, and I might have a surprise guest joining us. Here's what you do. Go to TavisTalks.com. That's TavisTalks.com. Scan the QR code, click the registration link, and you're in. It's January 26th, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'm keeping this intimate. Don't miss it. I'll see you in class.
Time now for the best of Tavis Smiley on KBLA Talk 1580.
1, 2, 3, go! I'm gonna try to keep it coming. Things ain't always smooth, but I'll be alright as long as I can find the groove. Yes, I will. Somehow I know that I can make it. You seem to like my style. Don't you worry, I'm gonna be around a while. Yes, I will. I'm just happy to see you talk to me back in style again.
Live from historic Leimert Park in Los Angeles, California, I'm Tavis Smiley, and I'm so glad to see you and me back in stride again. Before we get started with today's Best of Tavis Smiley show, let me invite you to follow me on Facebook and Instagram at The Real Tavis Smiley, and get updates on X, that's formerly Twitter, at Tavis Smiley. By the way, should you miss any part of today's program or want to catch up on previous shows, you can always visit thetavissmileyshow.com. That's thetavissmileyshow.com, or wherever you get your podcast, and listen to the Tavis Smiley podcast version of this program at your leisure. Another great Best of Tavis Smiley show on tap for you today. In our second hour today, we'll be joined by one of our nation's premier sports and culture writers, Howard Bryant. Howard has authored a new book titled Kings and Pawns, Jackie Robinson and Paul Robeson in America. On July 18, 1949, Jackie Robinson, the trailblazing Brooklyn Dodgers star who, of course, integrated baseball and was the most famous black man in America at that time, reluctantly testified before the House Un-American Activities Committee in Washington, discrediting Paul Robeson in his testimony. Robeson, of course, the legendary athlete, baritone, and actor. Indeed, Robinson's testimony increased anti-American sentiment and violence toward Robeson. 7 years later, on June 12, 1956, a defiant Paul Robeson, battered by McCarthyism but barred from leaving the U.S., faced the House committee himself in a final fiery showdown. These two seminal moments symbolized the enduring struggle within the American black experience, torn between patriotism and protest. Clearly, Robinson and Robeson embodied two opposing perspectives. This book is an astonishing piece of work, and we'll talk about it with its author, Howard Bryant, in Hour 2 today. In our third hour today, the new text from Harvard professor Brandon Terry. It's called Shattered Dreams, Infinite Hope, a tragic vision of the civil rights movement. We are all quite familiar with the more romantic vision of the civil rights movement, a movement when heroic African Americans and their allies triumphed over racial oppression through courageous protest, forging a new consensus in American life and law. But in this provocative new book, Brandon Terry is asking us to wrestle with the effects of this celebratory storytelling. Put another way, what happens when a living revolt against injustice becomes an embalmed museum piece? Going to be a great third hour today with Brandon Terry talking about his new book, Shattered Dreams, Infinite Hope, a tragic vision of the civil rights movement. But in this first hour today, two more conversations, given that earlier this week we celebrated the King holiday. Dr. King would have been 97 years old right about now. On the B side of this hour, former Chicago Alderman Dorothy Tillman reflects on her teenage years working with Dr. King and the SCLC. But we commenced today's show talking with Jonathan Eig, the Pulitzer Prize-winning author of the book King, A Life. A couple of broad questions, and I'll narrow as we move through this half hour that I have with you. But what do you make of the fact that we're 40 years in celebrating this as a national holiday?
Well, it's kind of been a weird 40 years, hasn't it?
Yeah.
When I talk to people like Harry Belafonte and John Lewis for this book, and I'm sure you've had conversations like this too, they wondered whether the holiday had done more harm than good in many ways, because it allows us to water down King's message and to stick to the parts that make us comfortable and talk about I Have a Dream and to forget about the reparations and the police brutality that he talked about in that same speech. And I think the holiday allows us sort of an easy way out, remembering this kinder, gentler version of Dr. King and forgetting about the radical version.
Yeah. You're not in the media business in the way that I am. Obviously, you're a best-selling, perennially best-selling author. But I sit here every day, and one of my indictments is of the mainstream media for doing exactly what you just laid out. It is the media that runs the same clips every year on the King holiday. I said that earlier in today's program. They always run the I Have a Dream speech. They don't want to wrestle with any of the challenges, any of the stuff that you laid out a moment ago. Some of that, I think, is the fault of the media. Who else might we blame for trying to freeze frame Dr. King, if you will?
Well, we can blame a lot of people. I think the media is a good place to start. I think our school teachers could do a better job of reminding students that this is not a binary choice between Malcolm and Martin. They were both radicals fighting for Black dignity. I think our politicians need to stop abusing Dr. King's legacy by calling on his words to allegedly support policies that they know Dr. King would oppose. You see people all the time saying, oh, Dr. King would be opposed to affirmative action because he said we should be judged by the content of our character, not the color of our skin, when they know that's a lie. So I think there's a lot of blame to go around.
Yeah. Tell me, I could ask this at any point in our conversation, but I want to just get this out here now. You've done this for a number of notable figures, written these books, A Life, Muhammad Ali, Muhammad Ali Alive, King Alive. You've done this a few times. For you, what was the particular joy in being able to do this about Dr. King?
Well, one joy was just being able to meet people who knew him and to spend time with not just the famous people that I mentioned, Dick Gregory and Andrew Young and John Lewis, but King's barber in Montgomery, Nelson Malden, and his childhood friend, June Dobbs Butts, to get to know people who knew King and just to sit around and say, tell me what he was really like. And that was one of the great joys. And now, the book's been out 2 years, to be out there telling people helping people better understand this man. That's a great blessing to play some small role in helping us get beyond, I Have a Dream and the monuments and the streets and the schools named after him. And just remember that he was flesh and blood, that he had fears and failures, and that he, had feelings. That's been a great blessing for me.
Yeah. I've said it more times I can count today. I'll say it again to make a particular point that King is still, for me, the greatest American this country's ever produced. I've said it now in all 3 hours, so I mean it. I didn't get a chance to meet Dr. King, although I've written a book about him called Death of a King, as Jonathan knows, as many of you know. My book focused just on the last year of Dr. King's life, from the moment he gives this Beyond Vietnam speech, April 4, 1967, to the day they kill him, April 4, 1968, on that balcony in Memphis, just looking at the only book that looks at just the last year of his life. And one of the things that I took away from my own research to write my own text was that King was as advertised. You hear that phrase all the time, as advertised. So many people, once you start peeling back